Hello team, how's it going? Welcome to our latest video, and today I'm going to be talking about how I nearly died twice in the British Army, both on an overseas exercise to Kenya. But before we get started, please like, share and subscribe, and head over to our website to check out our merch and our new coffee blends. We've got 4 coffee blends: Combat Ready, Covert Ops, In the Shadows, and we've got an op decaf for all those guys who like a decaf coffee. So getting into it then, how I nearly died. So during my career in the army, I did 2 overseas exercises, one back in around, I think it was 2009, and the other one in 2014. So the first time then, not so serious as the second time. The second time was a very close call, both by animals. The first one, we were attached to the SHOKZ. I was in 7 Para HA as a forward observer, and 2 of us had to basically go out on a hill and do a relay station, just because comms would have been difficult from the CP to the guys on the ground who were having to send over the fire missions. We recce'd the hill the day before, found the route up and found the route down. They said 2 guys from the SHOKZ will be going with you. They will have live ammunition, because only so many people carry live ammunition. It's a blank exercise just for safety. Woke up at like 4 in the morning, absolutely pitch black. Me and this other lad, they went, you 2 are now going on your own. You're not going to have security. There's no live ammunition or flares for you. And by the way, go up the other route that you come down, not the route you actually recce'd. So we set off around 0500 in the morning on our own, just a bit of blank ammunition, patrolling along, and we get to the bottom of the hill and we see all these lots sort of like cat's eyes around the hill sort of looking at us. And then we start hearing this loud noise and trees shaking. We're like, what the hell is that? So we keep patrolling forward, trying to find this gap in the forest that we sort of knew would get us up this mountain to the top to do the relay station. And then we just heard more screaming. It was getting louder and louder, and it was getting closer to us. And it was basically a family of baboons that had been spooked in the night that were basically charging towards us through the trees. So we had to basically jump on the radio and just be like, this is the situation. We can't move any further. We are going to be attacked by baboons. And then also you had all the animals at the bottom of the mountain, because you could see their eyes at night. We had no night vision either. Absolute shambles. So we basically just sat there for about an hour and a half waiting for it to get sunlight. We then patrolled off again and basically made our way up this hill, found a track, and then pretty much just walked through this baboon's family and home. I can't find the pictures. If I can, I'll put them up on the screen now. But basically, the baboons were about a metre away from us as we patrolled through their home. How they did not attack us, I do not know. So that was the first time. The second time was even more scary. So to start it off, we're in Kenya again, this time in 2014. Forward observer again with 7 Parachute Regiment Royal Horse Artillery, and for that exercise I was lucky enough to be attached to 2 para patrols. An absolute great unit in the British Army and a great unit in the Parachute Regiment. These are some of the best soldiers selected from the Parachute Regiment to go into the patrols and conduct reconnaissance. We were attached to them, and we were basically tasked as a 10-man section to go out and recce an area for the force to come up. So we're patrolling along. This time we had night vision, all good. We had no live ammunition though, because this exercise no one had live ammunition due to an early incident on a previous Kenya op. So no one had live ammunition, but the platoon sergeant and 2 IC did have flares. I had my night vision on, as did everyone else. We were just using the monocle, and we're patrolling along. I didn't have a dual PRR because they didn't have them. They didn't have enough. Once again, a lack of kit and equipment. So all I had was my headset connected to my VHF radio, so I could obviously speak to the CP and my boss and coordinate fires or whatever I needed to coordinate for that op. So we're patrolling along, and I was second to last man, and I could hear the 2 IC behind me chatting away on his PRR, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. So I'm patrolling along, looking through my night vision, doing what you do. And then just all of a sudden, the whole section, the patrol, just turned to their right and opened fire. And as they did that, they sort of shouted contact. And as I turned to my right, I just heard a big yelp, like a really high pitch yelp. Turned to my right, and there was an outline of a humongous animal. And I was just like, what the fuck? It sort of ran away, and we all closed up. And I was like, what the hell has just gone on now? I don't have a PRR connected to all of you, so I haven't heard anything you've just said. And they just turned around and went, yeah, a hyena's been stalking us for the last 5 minutes. And it's basically just charged towards the centre patrol, roughly near where I was. And I was like, what? That message could have been passed on. I didn't get that message. And then as we're talking in a huddle, we look to the left. There's about 5 to 6 hyenas just laughing at us. And as we're walking along, they're sort of bounding along, just laughing at us. And we had to fire quite a huge amount of mini flares towards them to try and scare them off. Their laugh, genuinely, when people say they laugh like humans, it's a very high-pitched human laugh. But that is one of the times I've seriously gone to myself throughout my army career. This hyena must have been, it was on the path and it was in the long grass, 2 meters away from us. Luckily, the 2 IC spotted it, because can you imagine if he didn't spot it? He was doing what you're meant to do when you're patrolling. He's looking left and right. He's looking behind him. Instead of just on a blank exercise where, you know, the enemy might be there and might not. He actually did his job. And luckily it saved mine or someone else's life within that patrol, because if a hyena did get hold of us, God knows what would have happened. Because like I said, we had no live ammunition. But that is a time twice I nearly died in the British Army, both on an overseas exercise to Kenya. Absolutely brutal. The first one, like, I was only 19 with the baboons, and it was just me and my mate. The second time I would have been 24. No, I would have been 18 actually, because the first time, because it was before my 19th birthday. The second time was after my 24th birthday. I was only 24, and I was a forward observer attached to 2 para patrols. But those hyenas, I'm not going to lie, scared the hell out of me. After that, we basically just closed right up and just basically walked as fast as we could to the next sort of safest location, and we managed to lose the hyenas. But we literally just had 5 or 6 just stalking us, which is quite surprising, because normally they go for like scraps. They don't normally sort of hunt live animals, or especially human beings. But I literally come like 2 meters away from a hyena possibly pouncing on me. Yeah, so that's the story of how I nearly died. The overseas exercises were brilliant. The second one was amazing, being attached to para patrols. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some of the best soldiers I worked with, great, highly professional, disciplined, and they knew their job inside out, and they were very keen as well. They wanted to be there. They wanted to do the job. So yeah, if you ever want to work with a good unit, work with Parachute Regiment, work with their patrol platoon, really good guys to work with, very professional, very fit, and extremely keen, and it was a really good exercise. But yeah, if you go to Kenya, be prepared of the animals. They do attack. Thanks for watching.